In our previous slide, we just finished about the profit and revenue and you know the condition for monopolies. Now the question arises whether monopoly is a good way to organize a market, or let me rephrase this question, that is whether monopolies are good for the society or not, or good for the market or not. Think about this question. Then your answer is no. Why? Let's talk about that. Unlike competitive firm, monopoly charges a price which is above marginal cost, right? We already saw the diagram in which we saw that the monopoly price is always greater than always greater than marginal cost, right? But in competition, price is always equal to MC, right? What was the reason for this one? There are many sellers, many buyers, nobody controls the price, right? Buyers want to pay less, buyers are happy, suppliers want to get out maximum from the buyers, so they are extracting the right amount. And if you see the diagram of the competitive markets, so the long run diagram is that everybody is producing at its minimum, right? So in that case, in the long run, it is also nobody is earning economic profit, right? One more condition added to the long run, that is in the long run price is equal to average total cost, so that nobody earn economic profit, right? So in competitive firm, economic profit, long-term economic profit is zero, right? So let's connect those discussion here with this, the welfare cost of monopoly. So here, from the standpoint of view of customer, the high price makes monopoly undesirable, right? Why I want to pay high money, right? In that case, this product is undesirable, this price is undesirable by the buyers. However, from the standpoint of view of the owner, the high price makes monopoly very desirable, because company always want to charge highest possible to maximize their profit. So let's move further. So because the monopoly sets its price above marginal cost, it places a block between consumer willingness to pay and producer costs, right? So buyers are paying extra money and they are not getting that value. We call that dead weight loss. So this block causes the quantity sold to fall short on a socially optimum point, right? So what we have learned in our cost of production, that the efficient scale is where there is minimum cost and always the MC crosses the ATC at its minimum. So in perfect competition, MC is called supply curve. So you are producing here, right? And this is the demand curve, which is horizontal, right? In that case, you are producing where demand hits the supply curve. Let me just remove it. Where demand crosses the supply curve, we call this equilibrium. But in case of monopoly, in case of monopoly, Sorry, in case of monopoly, this is the variable cost and this is the price. If you see that, this is the price and this is the average total cost. And we're going to talk about the MC is equal to MR condition. It is here. Right? So, where is the MC? This is the MC. Let me just rewrite it here. MC is this, which is a supply curve, right? Demand is the price line, which is here. This is the MR. So we have to produce here if we want to be on efficient scale. That is the EF quantity, but we are producing max quantity, right? So this area that is left behind from the society, in that case customers are deprived of. Why? Because they want to pay higher price as well to get the product. So sorry, because they want to purchase, but this higher price is not letting them to purchase. Suppliers want to, sell at high price, and they don't want to reduce the price because only one seller is there. So in that case, customers are at worst point, and they are hurting the customers. And what happened? So this wedge is created, or block is created, and that is called the deadweight loss. So we can measure the deadweight loss through the inefficiency of the monopoly. It means this is the inefficiency of the monopoly, that it is not providing enough for all the customers at their desired price or at their demanded price. They are exploiting the customers, you can say that. So I have a very beautiful diagram to show this one. This is P, this is MR, this is supply or marginal curve. So if that is the case, we are not, this diagram is out of ATC curve. So just don't worry about that. We are making it simple to make you understand. So when you see that, because we're talking about a social optimum point here, so the social optimal point is when supply is equal to demand. That is in which market is equilibrium, right? This should be the point where monopoly should produce. Instead, monopoly is producing where MC is equal to MR to maximize its profit here and to charge this price, right? On the price line there is a price. So in that case, this quantity is left. They are not producing this much quantity to satisfy all the customers or participants in the market. So we call this dead weight loss. I hope you understand the dead weight loss. So the definition of dead weight loss is that it is the area between the demand curve and the MC or supply curve, right? So the inefficiency of the monopoly is that the monopolies produce less than the social efficient quantity of output. They are not producing enough to satisfy all the customers' needs. They are producing less, charging high price and increasing their profit to the maximum, right? So what do you think? So the problem is they're charging high price or the profit? Is the problem is not earning the profit. Monopoly has a social cost, and that is they are not producing enough, right? That is the biggest problem. The problem arises with monopoly because firm is producing less than equilibrium. They are not producing at efficient scale. They are producing less than efficient scale, and because of that customers are deprived, right? So the high monopoly price discourages some customers not to buy, even though they have willingness and ability to buy, but due to the price is high, their ability is discouraged, right? So if monopoly is a public cost, is a social cost, then how to handle it? So what is the government response or public policy towards monopolies? So there are four kind of responses from the government in which we can eliminate or control the monopoly to not to exploit the society. Number one, making monopolized industries more competitive. If two or more from join hands together to become single company, to become monopoly, to exploit customers, increasing the price, then company can say that no more collusion, you cannot acquire this company because in that way we cannot promote competition, right? So that is why the Coca-Cola and Pepsi, they cannot join hands together. Why? If they join hands together, they become monopoly, and then you won't have cheap Coca-Cola or cheap Pepsi from your Chalapu or Carrefour or from any other stuff. Then after some time they will be increasing the price. So government can say that no more cooperation between these two companies. If these two companies try to become acquiring one another or becoming one, then this will be null and void, and there are going to be huge penalties on these companies. Okay, number two is regulating the behavior of the monopolies, turning some private monopolies into public enterprises and do nothing at all. So let's talk about one by one.